guys, Matt Allen here. Welcome back to Tactical Bassin. Today we're going to do a review style video. Fall is fast approaching, so we're going to talk about jerkbaits. Going to talk to you about 4 different jerkbait models that I personally have a lot of confidence in. The first one right here is a newer bait from Jackall. It's called the Re-Range. Now, I don't know if you guys can see, I don't know if the GoPro will focus or not to show you all the teeth marks in the back of that bait. I honestly don't know when this bait came out, but it's a newer offering from Jackall. I just threw it in my cart on Tackle Warehouse, I don't know, a month ago, month and a half ago, just because. Threw it in the cart just to try something different. The other day, Tim and I were out on the water. I pulled that one out and it just started smashing. I was wailing on him with it. I handed it off to Tim. Tim was wailing on him with it. And we realized, hey, this bait is something, we need to talk about this one. So when I got home, I got into the arsenal, dug out a couple of other styles of bait that are similar, that kind of fit that same category. And I'm gonna show you those as well, baits that I've got a lot of confidence in. So, the Re-Range, very short-lipped bait, 3-hook. Where this bait excels for me, you know, going into fall, the fish are gonna be on bait. They're gonna be pushing the shad, pushing the minnows. The bait fish in your area may be different than ours, but the bass are going to be driving that bait, feeding heavily. This is a bait, if you look at it, can you see it from the back? Yeah, you can. It's wider in the back. It's wider up top than it is down low. So it's got a ton of roll. And you can see very chromy sides on this bait. Ton of roll, ton of flash. Designed to be fished high in the water column. I'm only getting about 2-3 feet of depth out of this at the max. So a very shallow water bait, suspended fish bait, but ton of flash, ton of pop. And then because it is a 3 treble hook bait, great hookup. I'm still fishing it with stock hooks right now. In the past, we've talked to you guys about how to upgrade those. Like always, in the video description, along with these baits, I'm gonna give you links to the split rings that we upgrade to, as well as the 2 styles of hooks that I like to upgrade with on my jerk baits to increase my hookup ratio. I noticed another thing about this bait, aside from the fish catching, because that's what really caught my attention, right? I started throwing this bait and it was just smashing them. I was very surprised how aggressive they got on it. But in addition to that, on my first cast, I heard a clunk on the cast. That's a weight transfer. It's got a really good weight transfer system in it. So when you go to wind up, all the weight in the bait goes to the tail and you get a really long cast. You get a ton of distance, a ton of range out of that bait. You can hear it knock on the cast. So I'm getting extra distance that I won't necessarily get out of another jerkbait. And that's a big deal when you're trying to cover water as well as get that little bit of extra depth. So that's the first one, that Jackall Re-Range. Second one is gonna be a Megabass. We all throw the Vision 110, right? Just about everybody throws that bait. But the Vision 110 comes in a Magnum size. And that's a bait we haven't really talked about before. That's the Vision 110 Magnum. Little bit larger profile. Again, as we're going into fall, on most lakes, the bait fish have had time to mature, so they're going to be a little bit bigger than they were in the springtime. Well, that's not necessarily true, because in the springtime you got fish that already made it all the way through winter. But it's not the little tiny guys that you had going into summer, those fresh new minnows. They're growing up, so that larger profile really makes sense. And the Magnum size of the Vision 110 lets you stand out even from that. So what I like about that bait is you get the great Megabass colors. Oh, I wrapped that front hook there. You get great Megabass colors, larger size, so you stand out. And then, you know, this bait too has a phenomenal rocking action, gives really good flash, really good exposure of the color on all sides of that bait. And I'd love to pick a fish up here while we're talking. I have no idea if I will or not, but we'll throw it here for a minute. But again, that Vision 110 Magnum, that larger profile, in the fall, when you get on schools of bait, one of the best things that you can do to get bit is stand out. And we're gonna do another video talking about different ways that you can stand out. But one of those ways is to throw a larger profile, because if all the bait, say you're throwing around shad, right? Big school of shad, and they're all 2.5 inches, and you come in here and you're throwing that bait at a good 4 3/4, 5 inches, you immediately stand out from the crowd. You just look different. And that will absolutely turn into bites. Because a lot of times in those schools, the bass are already aggressive. They're already feeding, they're killing. The difference is standing out from the thousands of other minnows. And that's a bait that will absolutely stand out. The next one that I want to talk about, and it's a bait that we've talked about a lot. Actually, I'll pick them both up. A couple of Lucky Crafts. This is a bait I've talked about a ton. Flash pointer. Comes in a couple different sizes. This one I've upgraded hooks on to one of those hooks that I said would be in the video description. The flash pointer, that Jackall, and that Vision 110 basically all play in that same category. Tiny bills, unique body shape where you get a ton of roll, ton of flash, ton of movement. They're designed to be fished, how do I want to describe it? You fish them hard, but you don't move them a lot. So when you pop them, when you snap that rod tip, it's very aggressive turns without covering a ton of water. All three of them fish the same way. And all three are fantastic options, and frankly, you need to try fishing all three. I've talked about the flash pointer, Tim's talked about the flash pointer. This is a bait that we have crushed it on the last few years. That Jackall is so very similar, honestly. It's very, very similar. But it comes in some very different color schemes. Some things that I can't get in the Lucky Craft. And it's flat getting bit. So great, great options. The last one I want to talk to you about is this guy. It's a Pointer 100 deep diver. Compared to these other baits, how do I describe the Pointer? It's like the big clumsy oaf out of the four. Those three in my mind, now this is just my 2 cents, right? Those three, they're like fine-tuned machines. You twitch them, you pop them, you work them. They've got all that great roll, great flash, great sound. They just flat get bit. The Pointer 100, the short bill version of this, is a bait that you can snap hard. You can't blow it out. Those baits, because the bills are so small, if you hit them hard, they'll come and roll, they'll blow out of the water. So you want to be kind of finessey about it. You still want to hit them hard, but you don't rip them. You just tag them. Just pop, 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 pop. This guy, in the short bill or the long version, I mean, you can hit that thing hard. It's just a big clumsy bait. It's not gonna roll over. It's just gonna dig and dive and go side to side. But in the deep diving version, that bill grabs so well and the bait is balanced so well. There's almost no roll compared to the other baits. But what it has, what its advantage is, it's got that larger profile. It dives deep, and I mean, it does go deep. And the sound. You guys know when we're throwing lipless, we talk to you all the time about that LV500, how much we love that sound. This bait has the identical sound to an LV500. It is a fish catching sound. Transmits really well underwater. It's extremely loud. Fish hate that sound. They want it to be quiet. They do whatever it takes to shut it up. That bait, though it doesn't have that roll, doesn't have that flash, the way you work it is just subtle. Just a subtle pull and kill it. Pull and kill it, because that lip grips so much that it'll just swim and stop. Swim and stop. Swim and stop. To my eye, not as attractive, but to the fish, they smash it. and that's another bait that you need in your arsenal. Again, most of the time when we're recommending baits, we're telling you, this thing is amazing, you gotta check it out, it looks so good in the water. This one I'm going, it doesn't look near as good as those do, to me, but the fish think it does. It's one of those baits that just has the mojo, especially in the fall. Again, when you're on those bait balls, being larger is important, it's got that. And we all know that the biggest fish in the school tend to hang at the bottom or off the edges, and it can reach those farther fish, those edge fish, those deeper fish. It can get those fish that don't make it up to the other baits. So phenomenal 1-2 punch. If I was only gonna pick out one, I think that new Jackall re-range is the one I would go with, but all 4 of these are baits that you need to add to your arsenal. Again, in the video description, we'll link you the gear, all that stuff. One other thing, this hoodie right here, I've had a bunch of people, Tim and I both, the last, I don't know, month or so, we started wearing these. Tons of people were asking what they were. We'll give you a link to these down in the video description too. It's an Aftco Samurai hoodie. It's sun gear, right? It's really light. It's like our TacticalBassin gear, really, really light, but it's hooded. I've seen people wearing hoods for a long time, and I didn't really think anything of it. But when I finally tried one, I was very, very impressed. They're extremely cool. You wouldn't think they would be because it's a hood, it's over the top of you. But you're literally in the shade. You're not in the sunlight anymore. And it's really helped this summer in reducing my temperature when I'm out here fishing. I'm just naturally cooler when I'm wearing that hood. It's absolutely worth checking out. So down in the video description, we'll give you a link to that as well. I know we didn't really go into the details on how we work those baits, but we've done some really in-depth jerkbait videos in the past. We're gonna link you those as well. But I hope this helps you guys. Going into this fall, you know jerkbait time is coming. Here's a couple different options that you need to check out. They're gonna help you put more fish in the boat. They're gonna give you a different look, a different action. They're fish catchers. Check them out. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We'll talk to you soon.